Is that the new way?
It was funny. I do afternoons on this radio station, so I work for them full time. But I had been during COVID. I started a media company, and I mean everybody during COVID wanted to start a podcast,
Correct.
and so we were trying different methods. We have like in the broadcast industry, like programs that we use that are pretty complicated.
Mhm.
And but I had, doctors and lawyers and people that were, business professionals that wanted to do podcasts. So they needed something easy. And I came across this program and I started, I bought it and I started using it with all of my clients because it's literally you just hit record
And go.
and go. And it's like you guys can handle that. And the cool part is when they're done recording, I would just download it onto my computer right here and start adding, or editing or doing whatever I had to do to it. So it was really cool.
Well, I was talking on another interview, and they said that it edits for you and stuff in AI or something. That's kind of dope.
Yeah. I mean, over the last now 3 years, this program's, it's upgraded to where literally when we're done, I can go in and ask it to go through and pull me clips and post it on my TikTok.
Oh, that's case.
Right? Oh my God. It's
Oh
like,
my
wow.
God, that cuts a corner like a mug because all that editing takes so much time.
Yeah, all right. I mean, it's funny. One of my clients is a big true crime podcast, and she's a lawyer, and she owned a law firm with her best friend. They're both lawyers, and they were doing
Mhm.
this podcast, and she stumbled across me. I'm very good at editing, and I'm pretty well known for producing podcasts. And
Mhm.
so she was like, I love doing it. She goes, but it takes me 8 hours. I go, I can do that in
I can
two
change your
hours.
life in two
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah. So shout out to Crimes and Consequences, by the way. Great
Yeah,
podcast.
what's up? What's up?
But yeah, so yeah, it's funny. I always tell people, I'm like, COVID was great for me from a business standpoint.
It made you pivot.
Yeah, I mean, and isn't that what life is? It's like
Mhm.
one big pivot after another.
It's just being agile enough to adjust, you know what I'm saying? I know that sounds cliche, but that was one of my lines from How to Be a Player. You got to learn how, you have to adapt to the situation. You dig?
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I mean? You can't stay stuck. You got to move, stick and move. So
Hmm.
with that in mind, COVID definitely taught us a lot that we can do more than one thing.
So, this cracked me up. You did an interview like an hour ago with one of my coworkers.
Mhm.
And right after you guys hung up, calls me up and he goes, "Hey, I just hung up with Bill Bellamy. I know you're talking to him at 12. So what cool dude." I go, "Yeah." I go, I first of all, I talked to him last year. I go, I'm
Yeah.
blown away that like this is funny too, Bill. You just turned 60 this year. I just turned
Hmm.
50.
Hmm.
Last year, you and I, when we talked, we were both on the cusp of hitting a milestone birthday. And
Yeah,
I saw that
absolutely.
and I thought to myself, look, I know 50 is the big one. You obviously did that a decade ago. Do you feel, because I had like two minor anxiety attacks thinking about being 50. I feel amazing. I know I feel and
Yeah.
look younger, but the number kind of bugs me out. Was
Yeah,
60
it
like
bugs me out too, like, because
okay.
I don't feel like that, I feel like I
Yeah,
don't look it either, right? So I don't
you
look
don't.
my age. So like when people say that, I almost say, who you talking about?
Right? Yes.
But like, it is a blessing, Sometimes I think about my age and I'd be like, man, damn, like I kind of lived a real life, and then I'm like, what a blessing. You know what I mean? Because I remember, man, I remember when Tupac and Biggie were murdered. I was like at 25. I was like, damn, you just getting going, you figuring out who you are. You looking at 30, but you like, yo, I'm gonna be rolling this, that. So imagine not getting a chance to live long enough to see or to evolve, right? I remember
Yeah,
interviewing Kurt Cobain, and I was just like, dude was so young. Amy Winehouse, so young. There's so many artists that we lost, like Aaliyah. We didn't even get a chance to get
I
another
know.
album to see,
God,
it's so like when you think about in that respect of having the longevity, it makes you be grateful as opposed to being like, oh my God, I'm gonna have a panic attack. Now I get
right?
free pancakes.
Yeah.
I get free
AARP
pancakes.
started.
Hey, come on,
AARP started.
AARP. That's me, baby.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
They starting to call me Unc on the basketball court. Yo, Unc, you
Ah!
good?
Oh my God. So I'm glad you brought up
I
Tupac and
can't
Biggie.
believe that. Yeah.
So right, Super Bowl last year, Kendrick Lamar, right, unbelievable.
Hmm.
And I, long story short, I fell asleep and I missed the whole thing. I woke up at the start of the third quarter. And at some point, I went on Twitter and I'm like, "Why are all the white people losing their shit? What just happened?"
Right.
And I saw the whole thing and I watched it and I'm like, "What is wrong with people? Like, this is amazing." And my son, who's 10 years old, explained the whole beef with them and everything. And I remember from a couple years ago, I know Kendrick was with the West Coast guys. I've always been a Dre Snoop
Yeah.
guy. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, all right, I like this Kendrick Lamar. I started digging in and listening to Kendrick, who obviously he makes a lot of references to Tupac, drops lines and stuff.
Right.
I turned my son onto Tupac and obviously Biggie, and it's been wild the last year. My 10-year-old son, who calls me Unc, uh, you know, just kind of us growing and watching that stuff. And to be talking to Bill Bellamy about this.
That is so cool that you have introduced your son to those classic artists, right? Because at this point in our lives, they're legendary to us.
Yeah.
And to share these artists that had a voice and a perspective so crystal clear at that time to me is mind-boggling. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's like when Michael Jackson was 8 years old. How you know he was gonna be a star? Like at eight, I mean, come on. So what when and then think about the poetry of it all. Like, there was some really good writing going on with Tupac and Big. They told these amazing stories of life and circumstances that affect the community, that affect them. And even now, like I listen to I go back to my All Eyes on Me album every now and then when I'm in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about you. One time, every city we go, every other video. People don't even watch the music videos.
I know
I,
they don't know what they're missing. Good God.
yo, I miss that raspy. He used to smoke Newport's voice. The little chick is just a nice chick. I'm gonna holler at me. You could tell he used to smoke Newport.
Yeah.
Like, yo, it just put him out.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. Now, let me ask you something, because right, I knew I was talking to you today. I went and looked you up, and I noticed TV, movies, podcast. You haven't done any of that stuff in about 2 years. You obviously were touring last year because I spoke to you when you came to the Hartford Funny
Yeah.
Bone. Have you just been touring the last 2 years?
No, 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 no. I've been producing and
Oh, cool.
writing.
Okay.
I have a new movie coming out called Worst Christmas Ever to be out in the next couple weeks. Uh, Comedy
Wait,
special.
is this going to be my new favorite Christmas movie?
Yeah, they always do those. Like, this is not a Hallmark one. This one is kind of like funny, almost like it's relationship driven, obviously. The premise of the movie is love during the holidays and what could go wrong, everything. And it's about a couple who are going through a divorce, but yet and still they want to muscle up to spend the holiday because of the kids.
Yeah.
And the guy got to bring somebody because the wife already got a new boyfriend, you know what I'm saying? And this, that, and the other. So
Oh,
get to the
God.
house and it's just painfully funny because he's still in love with this lady.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Who's the
real life, life be life.
who's playing the wife?
I don't know if you would know her. Let me tell you. I gotta look it up right now because I just I just drew a blank. Hold on. I'll tell you, player.
I like throwing people on the spot. I'm so curious about this. My favorite Christmas movie is The Ref with Kevin Spacey and Dennis Leary.
Which one?
The Ref.
Oh yeah.
That is my number one Christmas movie I watch every year. I that's kind of my humor. I find like cringeworthy moments, awkwardness. That's my favorite thing. I like to introduce people and not tell them the right names.
No. Hold up. Let me see right here. I gotta tell you, Kelly boy. They giving me another movie, 2020. Which is damn it. I can't find it right now. Ah shit, I gotta look it up. Go ahead. Next question.
All
I
right, well
can't.
that's good. But so all right, you're doing obviously other stuff then, writing and producing. All right, I like that. I
Yeah.
thought, oh my God, is this guy just touring? Because that would be pretty dope too.
Well, they both work. You know what I'm saying? You can't. It's hard to do a TV show and tour because it eats up so much time.
Yeah.
And so, the next project will be a TV show. So I probably will not be able to hit Hartford and all these different cities. I'll miss some. I'll miss some stuff. But that's the nature of the business. You know what I mean? You get on a gig, you knock it out, and you go on to the next. I've just been fortunate enough to be an actor and a comedian, so I do dramatic stuff, I do comedic stuff. I host shows and things of that nature. I just hosted a big show in Chicago, which was really big, about 8,000 people at the Wintrust Arena. So, like, I'm always doing something like crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Again in the bio, it was like everything kind of stopped, and I'm like, oh, is he just touring? Or I assume you probably had things you were working on, so I'm
Yeah,
excited for
yeah. Oh,
that.
yeah. Definitely. TV projects. The movie will be out. This next hour special is going to be ready. So I feel like coming into this end of this year, I have fine-tuned my act for the next hour special that I'm going to give up to, the game. It's like once you do that hour, boy, that material is no longer, you got to come up with another hour. So you have to start all the way over. You know what I mean?
How long does it take? Like,
To write an hour?
yeah.
I would say, damn, depending on how meticulous you are, maybe a year.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I think for most people, right? I don't think people really have any idea. And then right after you've written it and you've done it over that, right? I mean, or do you start writing the stuff, go out, try it, see what the reaction is, change it or roll with it? Or do you
Yeah,
write it
I'm
all?
always
Okay.
so if you're talking about like once you start, let's say we're starting a new hour, you got new topics, new premises, things of that nature. It's not going to be sharp immediately. You know what I'm saying? It might be a little bit of it good, some of it a little mediocre, right? So you want to figure out, all right, I can make this better, move this here, move that there. It's almost like creating a perfect album. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I'm very meticulous about my material. So like I won't even put it out unless I feel like it's super solid. Like I don't put out no duds. Yeah, I try to
You
make sure everything I say is funny.
you know what? It's funny that you say that. I mean, being on the radio, and I know you've got experience there as well, but it's like, every moment is a moment that, for somebody, that's a moment they're always going to remember or associate with me if they ever think about it again. So I always try to put my best foot forward. I always try to, my style is to be funny on the radio. I feel like that's kind of what I'm there for, to entertain people.
Absolutely.
And so, right, I try never to waste any opportunity because I feel like, you didn't get anything out of it or enjoyed it. What was the point of that?
Correct. And the thing about comedy, much like music, a great joke is timeless.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could play Richard Pryor, George Carlin, Sinbad, or you know, Bill Burr, like one of his best jokes, and you'll be like, "Oh my God!" You still tearfully laughing because it's just so honest and funny, right? That's the beauty of landing a good one. We all of them may not be that home run over the gate. But if you can get a couple, maybe 2 or 3 of those joints that people be like, oh my God, that's why I'm coming to see you.
Yeah. Funny, I appreciate you saying that, Bill, because, I have a boss who's the Jerry Jones of radio owners, just
Right.
way too involved in like the day-to-day operations, and it hurts everybody. That's how he's like Jerry Jones. But sometimes I'll produce something that is hilarious. I put a lot of effort into it, a lot of time into it, and
Right.
I'll run it a couple of times during the same week. Monday at 3, Friday at 7, probably going to be a different audience completely. Guy hates that. And I'm like, dude, I like, do you ever watch comedians? Like, I could watch again, to your point, Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy's Delirious. I've probably seen that 50 times in my life. It's still hilarious because of how good it is.
Yeah, like I watch the legends, obviously. My peers, I don't watch as much because I don't want their ideas to bleed into me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't watch them unless when I'm done. Like when I'm in my creative space, I don't want to watch anybody else. I don't want to, get like off track where my head is. So I don't watch other comics, but I'm fans of a lot of guys.
Who's your favorites?
Not just one.
I didn't say favorite. I wouldn't pin you down like that.
Yeah. I got Dave Chappelle.
Oh God, the best.
Kev, Cat, Bill Burr. I mentioned him early. He's funny as shit. Let me give you one more that I think is just like, what? Ricky Smiley is one of my favorites. He just dropped a special that I watched, and it was pretty good. It was really good, wasn't it? I got a kick out of it.
That's interesting. Everybody on your list there is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I would not push back on any of those. Comedy is such a hard game, and somebody like Dane Cook, who remember when he blew up and was the big thing in comedy. And then he sort of fell off the map, and a lot of people were like, well, that's because, he was all hyping. But I think it's much material-wise. His follow-up stuff wasn't, it just wasn't as good.
Well, what happens is sometimes you could be fresh to people, and they're like, oh my God, they're excited about you. But in order to continue that energy, you have to be dominant.
Mm-hmm.
And once that newness wears off, if you don't have that next uppercut, that next overhand right, you'll lose your swag, you'll lose your cape, you lose your Superman, because people will move on. Like you can't just drop one album that sells 15 million copies and the second one only sell 350,000. It's just nah. Because I remember when Dane Cook blew up, he came out of nowhere. He was the first guy to get in all the emails. He basically did a Kevin Hart, you know what I mean? Well, Kevin came up. Kevin was one of the first guys that I knew that embraced the internet in the perfect way. He caught an amazing wave with it, and he manipulated it to his advantage to get his fan base cracking. He was tweeting and doing all the stuff that you need to do to grow your fan base. And then when he went to the movies, they went to see him. So it was beautiful. Like sometimes you can catch a wave like that, and it changes your life.
About 2 months ago or so, I was watching Any Given Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's probably in my top 10 movies, and maybe
it's top 5 football movie.
Oh, for me, sports. I Field of Dreams is number 1, and then Any Given Sunday is number 2. I think that is, I mean, even aside from being a football movie or a sports movie, it's just an incredible movie in and of itself. And I literally just thought about that because I talked to you, and I am so curious what it was like. I mean, my God, everybody in that movie is like a superstar. Most of them even were at the time. Can I get something from that? I would love to hear Bill Bellamy tell me what it was like being on the set of that movie.
I mean, it was insane, bro. Any Given Sunday was just like one of those moments in the culture that Hollywood, football, hip hop came together. You know what I'm saying? Listen to the music, listen, see the way the guys were dressed, see the parties. You know, the field, the coaching, like, you know, we had Al Pacino, we James Woods, you know what I'm saying, Jim Brown, rest in peace, Jamie Foxx, LL Cool J, Bill Bellamy. It was like, it was the perfect storm of everything meeting at the crossroads. So you got all these young actors that represent hip hop and pop culture.
Mhm.
You have the greats or the seniors of the game at that time. You know, Al Pacino's the OG. You know, he's coming in and he's going to be the captain of this ship. And he's respected as an actor, and it's a big studio movie. We got Oliver Stone, so it was just epic. The scenes, the scenes were real. The way he shot the movie, he wanted you to feel like you was inside the game. All that was purposeful. He wanted you to see what it was like to be a football player in the NFL. Like now we got ESPN and this and podcasts, and people could tell you what they're going through. But in the 98, you ain't know what it was like. You didn't
Yeah.
have no access like that. You didn't have, you know, what's it what do they call it? When it the show with the football show that they do now where you
Oh,
see
Hard
the
Knocks.
Hard Knocks. We didn't have Hard Knocks in
Right.
99.
Yeah.
So be able to get like a snippet of what it's like to be that type of athlete, I think Oliver Stone nailed it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it was.
obviously, I mean, just an incredible
Yeah,
movie. And again, having just rewatched it, again, that's one of those things I had to turn my son on to because kids don't watch movies anymore. They don't really
I,
like to watch movies. It's
I
weird.
mean, I think people still watch movies. I don't think people go to the movie theater. That's the problem. Like my wife and I, we like the movies. We go to the movies like 2, 3 times a month, maybe four sometimes, if there's some good stuff out. Lately, there hasn't even been anything that's like, oh my God, you know. But I haven't been to a sold out movie theater in the last. I haven't been to a theater
Yeah.
that was every seat was taken in a minute because
Right.
now everything's in the theater for a day. 2 seconds later, it's on Apple TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not the same where, you know, remember when it took a while to get to cable? It took a while to get to another platform. Now it's the next week.
Yeah. Yeah. That is sort of
So
insane.
it's so different.
By the way, 25 years you're going to be married next year, right? Is that right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah, man. It went fast though, too, you know. I look, that's just like your age. You're like, oh wow, we've been together a long time. But you know, I have to think of it as my kids too, because it was like my kids were so little and now they're all getting big and sort of becoming young adults. You know, my son is 19, my daughter's 22. So it's like, wow, we really raised a family. Like that's deep. So now we get to live a little and do our own thing.
Right?
Which is
Nice.
nice. Yeah,
Get
it's
get to
nice.
enjoy those years. Right on. Bill, you got two shows coming up this weekend, Hartford Funny Bone, Friday night, Saturday night.
Yeah.
And I know you got stuff doing, so this might be the last time people can catch it for at least the time
Yeah,
being.
yeah. Till next year sometime. I'm gonna be busy working on another TV show and dropping this comedy special. And I hope, you know, when people come out this weekend, I'm Friday and Saturday. It's 2 nights, 4 shows only.
Yep.
I'm gonna have a ball with you guys. We got some funny shit planned. It's gonna be stupid. So get your tickets early, man. And thank you for everything. Always keeping it 100, bro. And it's all right, man. 50 is the new 40. Don't trip.
Hell yeah, Bill Bellamy, dude. Oh my God. I'm telling you. It's funny. You've been performing for obviously the majority of your life, and you have
Yeah.
been somebody I've been like who's I know and am aware of for more than half of my life now. And to get to talk to you again and catch up with you, dude, is it's amazing. I really appreciate your time today.
Absolutely, man. And keep winning and have a safe holiday.
You too, brother. I'll talk to you
I,
soon.
I peace.